I'm Kirsten Campbell-Howes and I work for a digital agency called Soda, which has a couple of products that were not meant to be edtech products but became very popular with teachers, like Soda Constructor and Moveable. I'm also part-time an education consultant, and I work with higher education institutions, companies and schools to help devise their digital education strategy. About 12 years ago, I went to Shanghai in China and I became a teacher of English as a foreign language. And I have to say, teaching English as a foreign language is a fantastic introduction to teaching, because if you aren't a good teacher, you won't get very far. If you want your students to speak English, you have to be a good teacher. You have to work with them, you have to adapt to their needs, you have to understand what they're saying, and you have to understand what level of English they're at, and you have to adapt your teaching very carefully to get them to speak to you in English, this language that they don't know. I think a lot of them don't work because they start with just a good idea and not much pragmatism. So often it's a developer who's had a thought, oh, I've been at school, I really hated studying the times table, I'll come up with this brilliant app for making studying the times table easy. But if you've not actually had to teach the times table, you're not thinking about it in the right way. As a student, although you might feel like an expert in education, you aren't. Until you've had to teach a subject and you've had to encounter people who learn things in different ways and have problems that you don't expect, you're not going to get it. So in fact, if I were investing in an edtech product, there's no way I would invest in one that didn't have a teacher as part of the team. The reason I set up LEGup, the London Educational Games Meetup, was because there wasn't a community at that time in London, and I knew there were a lot of people making games and software for education. And the more people who joined the group, the more I realised this great need for these developers, who are often very isolated, to get together, share what they were doing and find the people who are missing from their teams. We've recently set up a website called EduGamesHub, which is a community site for people around the world who make educational technology products. If there's been one thing that LEGup has contributed to the edtech community, it's allowing people an arena in which to source the people who are missing from their teams.